So we'll take a look at the scoreboard in a little bit.
So we're watching.
But in the meantime, though, let's talk about this.
So this was
gameplay.
the stage
and
show
also, by the way, is the spectator
that
mode
they cut to
you guys
afterwards.
used to if you had played Battlefield 4, if you played Battlefield Hardline.
So just like a 14-minute snippet of?
And of course, our great guys in the back getting all the awesome camera shots.
Yeah, they're making sure that we're seeing the best of the action today, and that's a really important
So,
part for everyone out there watching. Is that you
EA
get to see
hasn't
some
posted
proper
this
gameplay
themselves
now. Like
yet?
you were saying, we've seen the trailers, but it's now time to see something, you know, fully fledged, in the flesh, Battlefield 1.
And here we go, folks. So we have some.
Oh yeah,
tank
Ashcraft,
gameplay
you know
here.
your World War One.
And X Factor working with his teammates.
This is the Mark IV
You'll have to-
tank, I believe. He's
you'll have to
blowing
be
up the map,
around
making
for
sure he knows
our-
what's going on.
when we
They're
play the
gonna
game.
smash through
Yeah.
the wall.
Whoa,
It's not
don't
like
smash
it's
through it
even
with the
there.
actual
The
gun.
tank is absolutely brutal.
That's kinda sick.
So
Use the
now
treads.
The X Factor is going to be
Well, even that'll probably
inside
suck.
of the tank, working with mid-tier to.
Those were
clear
early
this
tank
spot.
days.
And now
Oh, yeah.
moving over to, I believe this is going to be Stone Mountain's POV.
Yeah, I believe so.
It feels
He's
so
got,
wrong doing PvP.
Yeah, the classic weapons out there
Yeah.
using the
Like,
sniper.
guys running around looking to
One of
kill
my-
guys
one
in
of
an
my
arena
favorite weapons
setting.
to use
It's
on
just so
Battlefield.
weird.
Okay, so now just to kind of give everyone an update as to
Guys,
what it is that we're going to be playing.
The whole idea of
Let
running
you know what
through
we
a
love
village like
from
this and then going like this through your scope,
6 points up
Yeah.
running,
those of you who may be new to the franchise,
switching to your pistol,
Look at it.
back to your rifle. It's
That's
such an
one of
odd
the
looking thing.
heavy
Yeah.
things that you're going to be seeing in play
I've gotten
as well.
used to
Good
seeing it
shots
in
of
Modern Warfare
pistol,
games,
pistol.
but
Is he going to take him? Grenade going out.
You can see the bolt action shots too, and also some of the variants that you're going to see a unique. Oh, gets him right in front, but that's going to be an assist.
Oh, was he teabagging?
Fantastic.
He didn't
Something
teabag,
that
he was
you
just
see today is
nodding.
all the
Oh,
different
okay.
weapons that are going to be available, and well, there are quite a lot of them we're going to get through today, and loads of different perspectives. So you'll get an all-round feel for Battlefield 1 in the Conquest game mode.
Yeah, this
the
is
compression
looking
makes it
insane
hard
right
to
now.
really get a
Cinematic
scope
shot
of the
with all the players
graphics.
running around.
But
It's fantastic.
Good stuff indeed.
I
So,
feel like it doesn't
continue
look
to move
quite
forward.
as
Try
good
to
as
go
the
for
trailer,
that
even with the
no scope, not
compression.
find that one.
Yeah.
But
I had a
progress
feeling it was going to be toned
continuing
down. I
on
feel like the
forward.
campaign
Currently, if I'm reading
will
this
be
correctly, has, 2
lower
points
frame
working
rate
on
if
A
needed
and
to
E
get
as
great
well.
graphics, and I feel like multiplayer is always going to be a bit like not quite as good.
So far.
German
Not
Empire
bad, though.
versus the United Kingdom.
Look-
Yeah,
oh, look at
airplane
that.
battle. Now, when I did the Battlefield 4 Showdown, one of my favorite things to capture were the airplane battles, right? And here we are yet again with the biplanes. It's something that I don't think.
Oh,
Yeah,
nearly.
up there.
So how do
That
these
would've been bad.
That
transition
would have been
works?
bad.
Transitions work.
And you can see actually,
Between the vehicles?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
You just get in one.
Okay.
It's just like Battlefield.
Okay, well,
The way I got, you'd
he's
get
out
in
there.
Okay.
like
Quick pit
shit
stop,
and
that's
just
right.
start
Yeah.
flying around.
Look at the
Is it
scenery
fair to
that you're
compare? I mean, not
Everything going
Battlefield,
on around you.
Battlefront. Is it
There's
fair to
tanks
compare
on the ground, all
Battlefront
the
to
airplanes up in the
Battlefield?
sky.
The way that it plays, the way you run around. It's a massive battle.
Now we
You
have,
change vehicles, you change modes,
24 to 36.
and it's all going on at once.
And Montessori
It is
currently
fair.
being capped here.
Another person says all caps
Working
no.
with, Major Nelson as well.
A bunch of
and,
people say
Richard
it's
Sherman
fair.
as well,
All
so
right.
one cheesy
Very
Mofa,
similar,
great
yeah,
name.
kind of.
Using the SMG. Oh, wait. Pulling out one of the mounted weapons.
I'm sure it feels
That's it, the
different.
mounted weapons here.
It's not
First,
Star
you're
Wars,
pulling out from this flank.
but I'm
You have to be very
comparing
mindful,
it
too,
because
tanks
similar
come
like
in shred
style of
them.
like
Right. If you think
scope
you're gonna be
of
able to
battle
maintain position
is what
there
I'm
for a long
comparing.
time, as soon as they get wind that you're holding that spot, they can send a tank there and just absolutely destroy. And a couple things to note about the tank classes as well. It is an actual class
Yep.
that you select, and then you go into the game with the tank
It's
class
really
that
weird
has
too,
its own
the
gun
idea
and
of
its
taking
own
objectives.
Yep, all these different items.
Yeah.
You can pick up
Like,
a tank from the battlefield
this is
as you would in other battlefields.
real.
But
Really
now
happened.
with the tank class system, it is a
Oh, is that
class
mustard gas?
designated to
Losing
vehicle
objective
drivers.
Correct. So if you want to spawn in and make sure you are that tank driver, when you pop out of it, if you ever have to leave it for any reason, you will have your own loadout, which is something a little bit different that we haven't seen before.
Keep in mind, too, the red team has the lead here, and they have managed to get out of this one. Look at Jamie Foxx.
He's really getting into it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going it. He's singing to the camera. Honestly, I'm sweating right now.
So how much did they pay Jamie Foxx and what's his
Look at-
name,
you saw his eyes, you saw the
Zac.
love.
Zac Efron, to be there,
And the pain. Oh, man.
to basically do nothing but play with a bunch of pro
We got
players?
A lot of action going on, though, inside of the
Just
monastery here.
like they're not doing anything, they're not hosting, they're just
Yeah.
standing
Yeah,
there
it's
It's
playing.
fantastic, the scenery that's on offer. Oh,
EA
taken
money.
out.
EA dollars.
Nice stuff. So Celatrix going to get that
One
kill.
EA dollars redeemable for a
drop
briefcase
there.
of real dollars.
Let's see what we have as we potentially switch perspectives. And you saw right there, as a matter of fact, too, that was
the way that you spawn in.
Yeah, I was hoping that we could have actually
For
caught that view
Pele
for a brief
bucks.
moment
So this is
because
an
it
interesting,
so cool
like,
how you spawn into the game. So in previous
preview
Battlefield
of,
titles, you had a 2D map that just showed
I guess,
you
the weapons
where
and the
everything was going
vehicles,
on in the
but
battle, right?
Yeah, correct.
This time around, though,
I'm
that
not
map that was once
interested
2D,
in
that
any
is the
way
actual
of the
game
multiplayer.
itself, like
All I want is the
map
Yeah,
campaign.
me too.
plays.
Definitely.
And I hope that their campaign is amazing. Since generally I feel like their impression that they've given me is that the campaign in Battlefield is kind of
again,
meh.
Doom 49.
Yeah.
So it's will be Doom 49.
Oh, can he take him? Oh, he got the assist. He got the assist. I mean, you were going.
The
back
funny
to
thing
that
is
to
the
spawn screen. It gives you a feeling like
the icons
you're
above
zooming
everybody's
in,
head
you're
are
a lot
pretty
more aware
required
of
to
what's
show
going
who's on your
because you can
team,
see
and
the
yet
explosion,
that's
you can see
completely
that
goes
player
against the
moving.
idea
If an
of
enemy
these
spotted
chaotic
out, then it gives you the
war
chance to maybe
battles, like
switch
these
where you might want to spawn
early
in,
war
so you
battles
don't
where,
die
well,
as soon
even
as you,
today's war,
as soon
where
as you
no,
jump
you
in.
don't really know who's on your side
Yeah.
in the mix of
just
things.
Cool looking moment too when you just
But I guess it wouldn't be
into
much
that
fun if
site.
you're constantly firing at your
Here we
buddies
go.
and not.
Over to Matt's perspective here as he's just going to
Going
Yeah.
in with the SMG, nice close
I guess
quarters
the only
weapon.
way around
Right,
that
using
is to have
additional
distinct
effects.
uniforms.
Multiple variants as well for
And they
that one,
didn't.
that
For
players are going to
each
have
side.
the option to use here in this particular build. And I think that was an anti-tank grenade that he just picked up there. And check out Snoop Dogg. He's waiting to see if anyone's going to
Snoop Dogg's
charge up
there.
on this trench here.
What the
trying
fuck?
To work with his teammates.
Well, you can see the concentration. Look at all these players. They're all
Great wall shizzle
I've
for
got to
Nizzle.
really concentrate.
He's
I've got to make
smoking a
sure
fucking
that
joint.
That you can see Stone Mountain there just behind.
How
He's
are
making
they
sure that
allowing that?
see, he's telling his players
I don't
what
want
to do.
World
Get
War
the
One to
troops
be a
fall in line,
competitive
man.
shooter
Get the troops.
anymore.
Here we go. So this is
I don't want this. I thought I did.
You
Now I
just
don't.
Right into it and you go right into the vehicle.
I just really,
like,
really
or
want
wherever you
campaign.
decide to go.
The
It is so.
I'm
That
excited
was
for the
just awesome
campaign.
to see. I mean, that kind of mechanic. I mean, the spawn screen is one of the most valuable things you can look at because you can really help change the way the
Oh, dear
battle's
God,
moving.
he is.
And if you can see all that information in front of you, it's so much more helpful.
There are a variety of items that you can use as well, gadgets that you'll see players
It's
use. I
only
think
been
we saw
hours.
the anti-vehicle grenade just a little while ago. Back over to the spawn again and
Moving in with Major Nelson here.
Yeah, the best World War One
Major
game is
Nelson,
Valiant
what he
Hearts.
can do.
leading the troops. Actually, I
Nice.
believe
This is Major Nelson.
I think this is X Factor.
do you think it's X Factor?
No offense to Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry Harb, and I'm going through the Great War and trying to do my best and kill all these Nazi bastards. Are they even in this battle? It doesn't matter.
That's Major Nelson.
$9.99 for your new Xbox, if that's what
This
you
is
want.
the special bit. So what you've got is an extremely powerful piece of weaponry right here. Is it the British Army have got this one right now?
Yeah, so because of that, the way it works essentially is that you want to look at it as when the team is down, it's that last-ditch opportunity, that last effort
And Major
to be
Nelson
able
started to sound like my
get
Tommy
back into
Lee.
the game. And the airship, if used properly, can cause a lot
bit, maybe.
of damage. It is an incredible piece of weaponry, a behemoth, if you will.
I mean, obviously, though, it's a huge target. As we can see, it's getting shot already. So it's
so
not
cool
something
though that you can like just suddenly bring this in and start bombing
Yeah,
the
what
camp,
the
like
fuck?
the battle.
If you were down and you needed to take a couple of flags back in Conquest, this could give you the
It's
power
just
to do
silliness.
that. You can absolutely obliterate people with the guns that are on it.
Who used the Zeppelins, then, our expert of World War One?
But you could turn
They were hardly
things
used at all.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I think it would be a pretty rare occurrence.
Terry Crews throwing down.
Terry Crews is out there.
What's up, man? You know, just looking for that opportunity. I think you found someone in front
Oh
of him.
my god.
And just, nice.
How much did they
Yeah,
spend
I
on
mean,
celebrities?
Yeah,
emotion. Raw emotion. On board with Snoop Dogg. He's in one of the tanks, I think. or is
That's
it the
interesting.
armored car?
Snoop's playing with a controller against
Yeah.
people who are playing with PC,
Over here, Stone
with
Mountain
keyboard and
will be
mouse.
Dealing with a lot of pressure and Sea-Nanners coming out of nowhere.
What do you guys think of that?
Giving them the
Snoop's
business.
a console
That's
gamer.
unfortunate.
One thing we did see there was one of the new movement.
Germans
mechanics, the way
mainly
you
use the
pull yourself
Zeppelins?
Yes.
up on top.
They're
You
used
might
for
have just
city
seen it
raids,
before the
but
guy,
mostly early on.
Before the guy hit the floor. You can now pull yourself up onto cover that's a lot higher than you, so you can use the cover to your advantage, or you can drop down behind it, but then you can spring out in surprise as well.
So there are different kinds of movement mechanics in the game that are new. As you had mentioned before, the high vault, as it's called.
All right, I think I've seen enough.
You know, in other Battlefield games, there may have been like a gate or like
wow, that's really
stone
cool.
fencing or something like that that you couldn't quite get over. Now you can. It's just all one fluid motion.
I hope that they can do a mode. I feel like friendly fire would be a lot more fun.
He is looking to cause some damage.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be frustrating, but I think it'd be real interesting to play a hardcore friendly fire mode.
Yeah.
This time around, right? So if I want to eliminate the treads,
What's that hardcore game? That hardcore like old battle game, like with muskets and everything. It kind of had like a cult following, and I think some people wanted us to play it on the show once.
Tanks that we've got here. There are different types of tanks in Battlefield.
Like hardcore in that you actually line up.
Tanks, medium tanks, and heavy tanks. Obviously, the name will tell you.
Mountain Blade, is that it? Yeah.
A light tank.
I think it's Mountain Blade.
Okay.
And like you literally line up.
But if you want to sit down with some of your squad mates,
like
you can move into
they
a
did back in the
medium
day
tank
and
that's got
fire at
3
each
seats in
other.
it. And
Holy
if you really want to
shit.
take your full squad,
But most people
in a
loved
tank,
it just
you wanna
because they
go bowling
fucked
around
around.
Battlefield
Like you
and
just kind of be silly in
causing
that game.
absolute havoc.
Yeah.
You can use one of the heavy tanks. That's
But it was like
5
created
seats
for
in it.
enthusiasts
Yeah, and
of
another
Civil
thing to
War
note as
and
well
other that type of period
Oh, okay.
to reenact battles or to like do what if scenarios and stuff, and actually like people on computers all working together to reenact, like staying in formation.
Wow, that's
Instead of-
nuts.
instead of dressing up and going to locations.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but on a computer, basically a reenactment.
Keep you alive and keep the tank going.
Is it
Also,
chivalry?
another thing to note too.
There's a hardcore mode in Battlefield multiplayer
you
with
can
friendly fire.
actually
That sounds
self-repair your tank.
interesting.
Mountain Blade doesn't
stay in
have
the
guns
tank,
in it.
but
It
there's a
sounds like
trade-off,
chivalry
right?
is what you're talking
There's
about.
a trade-off. You actually cannot get out of the tank. You can't move. You can't fire.
I don't know.
You can't do anything. You're kind of a sitting duck. So
I just remember a really funny video where like guys are all standing in formation and
No,
the
it
guy's
is Mountain Blade?
like he's whipping them like with his swords because there's like
Okay, they say it is Mountain Blade.
telling him to trim his mustache and like smacking him. Is he just shooting as he falls? Oh, he was with it. He had a parachute.
Takes him down.
He was literally falling from the sky and just
Yeah,
shooting
so
as he
if you
went.
spawn in, you happen to be in one of the weapons. You want to get back into the action. Maybe you want to get a little bit closer to the enemy. You think you can do some damage.
All right.
Just jump out, parachute down, and get
All
straight
right, so that's some
into battle.
multiplayer gameplay of Battlefield.
Where's the shovels? I was promised shovels.
All right, let's discuss what we're expecting from Bethesda right after this break. Stay tuned, guys.
Bit of a sticky situation, but if you just charge right into someone, you're going to